So just want to welcome everyone. This is a session that's focused on Extreme Platform 1, and we're very privileged to have Emery Kurtman to participate and lead us in this discussion over the next hour. Emery loves having sessions that are interactive. And so if you do have any questions, there's a couple of different options you have. You can raise your hand and jump in and ask a question, or you can use the chat. It's fully interactive, and we'll try to respond to questions as they come up. And then we'll also have a few minutes right at the end of the session for any additional discussion or questions that people may have. As Scott mentioned, the session is being recorded. So if you want to listen to it again, or you want to send it to other members of your teams that were not able to participate, by all means, please feel free to send that link over to them, and we'll make sure that we send the recording link out to everyone that's participated on this session. So I think without further ado, I will pass this over to Emery. You can do a quick intro and then jump in. So thanks again for participating with the Canadian team on the session, Emery.
Sure, thank you, Greg, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Emery Kurtman, and I'm the Principal Solutions Engineer, part of Product Management. And today the topic is Extreme Platform 1. And just to confirm if you can see my screen.
You bet.
Okay, perfect. So again, I would like to have this session as an open forum, as interactive as possible. So if you feel free to unmute yourself and ask anything you want, right? And let me move forward. So I understand that there are some of you who are seeing Extreme Platform 1 for the first time, and some of you already seen it, even a live demonstration. But I will try to briefly introduce what Extreme Platform 1 is and a couple of slides, and then I would like to move on to the live demonstration. So I would like to spend the majority of the time with live demonstration, so that you get a feeling of what Extreme Platform 1 is and what are our capabilities in terms of AI and other parts of the user interface. So I can first start what it is not, right? So what Extreme Platform is not. It is not a simple switch management or a wireless management platform. It's not just to manage your SD-WAN network. So it's basically a combination of network management elements, including wired, wireless, fabric, SD-WAN, and third-party ecosystems. So this is the network management part, as well as the security piece, which we call Extreme Platform 1 Security, where you can manage your network access policies as well as your application access policies in a unified manner. And all of this is based on an AI core, and we will talk about AI in more details, and what it means actually to have AI in the core of the platform, compared to having like a standard software and basically adding on AI bits and pieces into it. So there's a fundamental difference of building an entire platform having AI in mind and AI in the core. So with that said, let me move on to some of the key capabilities and elements within Extreme Platform 1. And again, I will be showing you live, especially this piece is quite important, the visualization. So when it comes to visualizing your network, you basically have all the competition, different vendors have similar tools to be able to visualize your network, visualize the topology. But what really stands out when it comes to visualization within Extreme Platform 1 is the layered approach, right? So it's not just switch to switch or access point to switch connections, the physical connections, which link is up, which device is up and down type of thing. It is this is one thing, obviously, the physical topology is important, but what is also quite essential, and nowadays everybody has a fabric, and we also as Extreme, we are proud of our Extreme Fabric solution. We have thousands of customers using it, and to be able to visualize the fabric layer, which is basically a logical layer, and the services that are built on top of the fabric is really important. And that's where Extreme Platform One visualization shines, to be able to visualize the physical layer, the fabric, the logical layer, and the service layer so that you can verify the services which are built on top of fabric end to end. So from the client all the way up to the server, you can verify the end-to-end connectivity. And I will be showing you in the live demonstration. So custom roles and permissions. It's not just about, as I mentioned, it's not just about a network management system. We also have capabilities to show you or to manage your subscriptions and licensing, inventory management, and all these different components obviously are correlated to different personas in your organization, right? So it doesn't have to be that let's say inventory manager or a license manager role in your organization doesn't necessarily have to see other parts of the orchestration to other parts of Extreme Platform One, such as network management. So that's why we have custom RBAC, custom role-based access control, where you can, in a granular way, provide permissions and access to these roles so that they can only focus on their primary jobs to be done. Okay, so this is really important. And another thing is, again, so as I mentioned, inventory management, which basically helps you to manage your to make the planning, design, configuration, and deployments much faster. And of course, this is with the also with the help of AI expert, which I will be showing you different use cases, different examples. So how you can utilize AI so to plan your network deployment. So this is also what I just mentioned is the subscriptions and contract management. In the past, before Extreme Platform One, and also with the other vendors today, is really difficult to have a single pane of glass where you manage your devices as well as you see your subscriptions and contracts, and then you can renew or you can submit renewal for those subscriptions if you see them they are close to expiration. So everything in the same single pane of glass is what we are providing with Extreme Platform One, so that if you want to see a specific contract of a specific device, let's say you want to open an RMA, but one of the switches failed. Before Extreme Platform One, what you need to do, you just need to log into the Extreme portal, or if you are using some other vendor, you just have to log into their portal to check the serial number of that particular switch and to see if that switch is under a valid support contract or not. But today, with Extreme Platform One, you don't need to go back and forth between different SaaS applications. You are in Extreme Platform One. All you need to do is find that particular device within your inventory, see whether or not that particular device has an active support contract or not. So it's as simple as this, okay? So I would like to briefly touch upon the security piece as well. This is not the topic of today, but it's so important to mention that security is also bolted on this same platform, right? So when we talk about Extreme Platform One, Extreme Platform One Security, they are using the same framework, even though they are two different applications. You can still have the same look and feels, the same user experience when you switch between Extreme Platform One networking and Extreme Platform One security. And within Extreme Platform One security, you can build unified zero trust network and application access. So you can build your network access policies like a cloud NAC solution, as well as you can build your application access rules and policies in the same manner. So with that said, I would like to focus more on the AI piece, okay, and how we are using AI to solve your problems. And here I would like to again differentiate two different architectures, right? So on the left side, you see a standard software. Basically, this can be any vendor's network orchestration tool. And then you add on a chatbot on top of a standard software. So this is what we can call it as AI at the edge. It is still useful. Obviously, you can still get some value out of it. But if you compare at the right with the right side hand side architecture where AI sits at the core of this whole architecture, and then you have the standard software, this is where AI is actually solving your problems. And again, if you compare with the standard software and an AI-based architecture, with the standard software, you have rules. So you have everything is kind of static, right? So if you know what you will get if you run a particular report, and this is not bad. This is still good. This is in many cases you will still need some certainty and some rules and static type of reporting. But the main difference when you compare the standard software with AI is the standard software will provide you what you already know. But with AI, of course, there's learning involved. It's trained by data, so and it's adaptive. So that's why it deals with what we don't know already, and it provides you the probabilistic probability of some issue or something that can happen in the future. So this is one thing, but of course the probability is here important and it needs some more emphasis. Like with any other LLM tool, and I'm sure all of you have already been using different AI tools, different LLM tools, and you already noticed that uh, we have to be cautious. We have to be cautious when we are using these tools. They are definitely our assistants, but we should not be taking everything granted, all the things like 100% truth every time. So definitely there has to be some due diligence, but it doesn't mean that with every single with the same prompt it will provide different results all the time. So that doesn't the probability doesn't mean it will provide incorrect answers. Sometimes it can, but it is the things that we don't know what it will provide, the things that can happen in the future, like the potential failure of the switch by looking at the existing data sets of the temperature rising or anything which you cannot have control if, especially if you are managing hundreds and hundreds of switches and thousands of access points. So that's why it's trained by data. And if we move forward, then there's the other piece of the agent, right? So there is the conversational piece, which I will be also showing and talking more. And then there is the agentic piece, like human agents, a real estate agent or an FBI agent. So all these human agents, right? They are specialized in one or few tasks. But within their task, within their specialization, they are almost fully autonomous. So a real estate agent is dealing with buying and selling properties, right? So we're helping us out. And they are autonomous while doing these actions. But when it comes to AI-based agents, we cannot have full autonomous architecture, right? So it's really important that you build trust to these systems. That's why this acronym that you see on the screen, HITL, it means human in the loop. We always want you to be in the loop, especially before the AI agent takes any actions, because you are running critical systems and you want 24/7, 365 availability, and you don't want an AI agent just come and change some configuration on your devices without you knowing anything about it. Okay, so this is the main theme will be across our all agents, and we have our first agent, which is currently in the beta availability, which is the service agent, and I will be showing you that. But we are already working on different agents like experience agent or troubleshooting agent or configuration validation agent, but all of these agents will have the same architecture, which is human in the loop. So so if you don't give the approval, it won't touch your network. It won't do any configuration or any changes on your network. So they can be reactive, like you open up the chat AI expert, you ask some questions, you open up the service agent and you say, okay, so I have an issue in this particular device or in this part of the network, please investigate. This is the reactive mode, right? So you ask something and then it performs a task. Or it can also be proactive. And with the upcoming agents, these will be also, this will have the capability to be proactive, where they will run in the background 24/7, and they will let you know in case something happens. Okay, so this is how they can be proactive. And again, so with multiple agents, obviously you will be interacting with them, but they can be also interacting with each other, even if you don't know about it. Okay. So we think that agents are actually the manifestation of the real value that we will be getting from AI. And if we compare with other technologies, with web, for example, if there are no websites, the technology web in and of itself doesn't really provide any value, right? Same with the mobile phones. Before we had the mobile applications, the mobile technology didn't really provide the actual value that was realized after we started introducing the mobile applications, or we started seeing them. Same with the AI technology. So we believe that the whole agentic AI, the automation, the micro applications will bring the real value when it comes to AI. So as Extreme Networks, with Platform One, what type of AI components we are providing today? It can be divided into three main parts. Starting from the middle is the conversational piece. So AI expert is able to talk to your knowledge, which means all the configuration guides, all the release notes, GTEC knowledge base articles, they are part of the training set of AI expert. So instead of going through thousands of pages of configuration guides or release notes, you can just ask AI expert, okay, so how do I configure this? Or what are the fixes on this particular version of, let's say, switch engine? And it will come up with answers, including the references from those public documentation. And so this is the conversational piece, but with the talk to knowledge. We also have the capability, or AI expert has the capability to talk to your network. And again, so this is the part where I'm basically saying you that the whole Extreme Platform One is designed with AI being at the core. All the devices now we renewed our APIs, the switches, the APs, and the whole Platform One UI is API driven. An AI expert can tap into those APIs and can basically retrieve the information and provide it to you. So you can ask questions about your network, and then it will provide you answers. But while it's providing you answers, it's not only text-based, because there might be some cases where you would like to see it. For example, if you like the screenshot you see on the left side, a distribution of your access point models or switch models, or distribution of your clients by operating system. Obviously, these type of questions, if you get a text-based answer, it won't be enough, right? So that's why we built a multimodal system, so that you can build charts, pie charts, be it bar chart or any other chart, and you can just easily switch between different types of charts, as well as tables, graphs, and you can publish them in what we call AI canvas, so that all the other users that are using Extreme Platform One can see these graphs. And I will be showing this as well. And the last piece is the AI agent. And now we have the service agent. Again, this is autonomous with human in the loop. Okay. And what is service agent? The initial capabilities of base. Sure.
We've got a question, Emery. So Marco asked, do all investigations create action or reports or both?
So not all. Can you say again, Greg?
Do all investigations create action or reports or both?
Not all investigation create an action. So again, when it comes to service agent, it will eventually ask your permission for the action to create a case. But until that, it will create all the evidence. It will collect all the evidence. It will do some troubleshooting. It will provide you some steps to do troubleshooting. Until all of these, they won't require any action from your side. But when it comes to creating a case, opening a case to GTAC, only then it will ask you to whether you are approving or you want to edit, you want to add some additional information to the case. Only then you will be in the loop. So again, not everything will require an action. If you are not using the service agent, there won't be any action required from your side to approve or deny anything. You will just ask questions, you will build charts, and then you will use AI expert in that way. Only when you start using agents, then you will be in the loop, either approving or denying the requests. So with the service agent, again, so it's automated evidence collection, efficient the case creation to GTAC, and also reporting. So if you have multiple cases opened, you can also check the status without going to the support portal to see them. So you can just do it within AI expert, just ask within the service agent, ask what is the status of all my open cases, and it will basically list you all the open cases with their current status. So this is the first agent that we bring to the market. And we are working on different agents, one of them being experience agent with all the client experience for wired, wireless. And I know we are also working on a configuration validation agent. But again, these are all in thought process at this point. Obviously, it's subject to change. Nothing is etched on stone, but definitely there will be more agents to come. So with that said, I would like to move on to the live demonstration. Let me quit the slides and move on to the platform one. I hope you can still see my screen.
We can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Greg. So again, I know that some of you are seeing this for the first time. That's why I want to do a brief introduction before I dive into the some special use cases with AI. So this is the workspace. It's basically the landing page of Extreme Platform One, and we wanted this landing page to be AI driven. That's why, so there are some static elements like alerts, hardware lifecycle, device status, where you can quickly see your overview of your network. But then we have this concept called AI Canvas, where you can create your custom dashboard. Instead of having a static one, which we also have, by the way, which I'm going to show you in a second, but you can create your custom dashboard. In this case, I basically added two different charts. One of them is the distribution of wired clients by operating system, and the other one is the distribution of wireless clients by operating system. And you can easily move things around and edit the name, or change the chart type to, let's say, some other chart, bar chart or a donut chart, or whatever you prefer. But we will come to the AI expert part. Okay, so now I would like to focus on the visualization piece, because that's also important. especially I know some of you are using Fabric. So that's why I wanted to focus on the visualization. So this is the first view when you first log into the EP1 and go to the visualization will be the geomap. And let's assume that you have multiple sites. In this case, this view will provide you an overview of all of your whole network, including like the sites, the buildings, the floors, and all the critical alerts on each of these sites. You will have a understanding with this geographical map. Okay. And then if you want to dive into a specific site, you just click on it. Let's do it for the enterprise side. And then it will also give me all the buildings that are part of the enterprise site. If I click further, then it will take me to the physical topology. Let me make it a bit bigger. By the way, I hope it's visible enough because I'm using a white screen. So if you think this is too small, I can switch screens, but I hope it's fine. So this is the physical network. And as I mentioned, there's nothing really special when it comes to physical network. All the other vendors, they have some sort of a topology management system. But what is really kind of unique is we have this context-based inspector panel. When you click on any object on the topology, let's say if you click on a switch in this case, on the right-hand side, the inspector panel opens up, which provides you more detailed information about that particular device. In this case, it's a Fabric Engine switch. And if you want to see more details about system name, IP address, location, and some physical device details such as the model, also the operating system, the MAC address, and so on and so forth. You can see you can have a quick glance of the operational ports compared to the number of ports, so that you can have an understanding. Okay, this switch is basically doesn't have enough unused ports, so that you can do some planning accordingly. Same with the PoE budget. So if this is a PoE budget, you will also see how many ports delivering a PoE and what's the budget left out of the total PoE budget that you have for that particular switch. So this is the inspector panel, and it's not just for the devices. You can also click on the links, and it will bring up the link inspector panel with the information for the physical link, right? So this means the operational state, which is currently up, obviously the port name on two sides. And if you want to see statistics for this link, in and out octets, the unicast, broadcast, multicast packets in an absolute value, but as well as the cumulative. The cumulative one is important when it comes to troubleshooting, so that you can see the increments as you are on the screen. Okay, so this is really important when it comes to troubleshooting your network on the physical layer. So another important point is, and this is also one way of integrating or having a third-party visibility. So we don't only display the devices that are natively onboarded to our Platform One system. You can also visualize LLDP neighbors, and you can selectively visualize your LLDP neighbors. So if you want to only visualize, let's say, your cameras, then you just click on the cameras and apply, and everything else is gone. Now I can visualize my connected cameras in my network. Okay, so let's say if I click on here, you will see if there are multiple cameras that are connected to the same switch, we are summarizing the view. And then if you click on it, you will see individual cameras like in a burst view, which are all connected to the same switch. So this is the physical layer. And again, as I mentioned, so we have this layered approach where you can also see the logical topology or the fabric layer on top of each other. So I would like to now open the physical and fabric together. And here you can see the correlation, right? If I zoom in, zoom out on one layer, you will also see the same change reflected on the other layer, in this case, physical and fabric together. And if I select any device, either on the fabric layer or on the physical one, then I see the correlation line so that you don't lose context, okay? Again, we are looking at this ENT-HQ fabric engine switch. But in this case, since I have opened up two layers, the inspector panel also reflects the change because it's context aware. Now, if I look at the device details, it not only shows me the physical details, but it also shows me the fabric details, such as the system ID, the nickname, the ISS area, and so on and so forth. So all the critical parameters of fabric, I can see it in this inspector panel. So let me quickly close the physical one and we focus on the fabric layer. So for those of you who are fabric experts out there, if you are using a multi-area network, we can also visualize it. So there are ways that you can change the display settings, for example, for ISS area, so that I can see, okay, so the green links are one area and the blue links are the second area. So I'm using multi-area in this particular instance. But again, so let's not go too deep dive on those advanced fabric capabilities. But what is really key is you just click on a link, and instead of it showing the physical identity or physical operational up or admin up down status, since I'm in the fabric layer, it shows me the ISS operational state, ISS, which is the control plane of Fabric Connect, and ISS admin state, and some other parameters that are related to ISS. So this is what I'm basically talking about when it comes to being context aware. So we verified everything is going good with the physical layer. I can verify my connections, they're up and running. Same with the fabric layer, all the links, and there are some links which are basically down, by the way, so that you can see it in red. And so everything more or less looks good. But what about the services?
Couple of
Yeah,
additional questions, Emery, if we could
sure.
just maybe interrupt for a second. So, two questions. Does this visibility include non-extreme devices that may be connected to an extreme device? So an example, on premise and without the agent. So that part I'm not completely clear on. So I don't know, Tom, if you just want to expand on that. And then the second question here is, would it be possible to import images like a photo of an entire rack or cabinet layout is part of the visibility, I guess, or the visualization?
Mhm. Yeah, good questions. Thank you. And the first one, so we can visualize third-party switches via LLDP today. Okay, so as you can see here, I have an Aruba 6300 and a Cisco 9200. Obviously, we get this information through LLDP. Okay, so we can visualize anything that has LLDP, including IP phones, cameras, third-party switches. But what is coming is what we call a third-party management engine, and this will be a locally on-prem installed instance, which will be reporting to EP1. So it will talk SNMP to all your third-party devices, Cisco, HP, whatnot, and then it will talk to EP1. It will report the details. So even if there is no basically LLDP capability or LLDP might be disabled, you will still be able to visualize it in the topology. You will be able to see it under the inventory, because today inventory is dedicated to only extreme devices, but you will have the ability to visualize, to display your third-party devices also within the inventory. And we will be bringing capabilities like configuration backup, restore, or firmware upgrades initially for non-extreme devices. So for the second question, today we do not support uploading or changing the icons or for this part and also for the main topology. But we can bring this up to product management, and so if you think this would basically provide value, we can always discuss this with PR. But today we don't have that capability. I see some more questions. Would it be possible to import image? Okay, so this is that I already mentioned. Okay. So it can only be done via directly connected extreme device learning through LLDP. Yes. Again, so this is this is what we have today, and when the third-party management engine comes early next year, then we will have more capabilities for third-party management. Yeah. So now let's focus on the services. Okay, so we basically, let me check the time, by the way. Okay, so we verified the physical layer, the logical layer, and what about the services, right? So let me disable the LLDP neighbors so that we have a cleaner topology. Okay, so let's assume that I have two different sites and I would like to extend first, let's do a layer 2 service all the way from warehouse to my headquarters, and from this warehouse edge switch, which will be the first node, all the way to this HQ core switch. Okay, so first of all, if you want to see a particular service, whether it's configured on a device or not, you can do this. You can just select any device, go to the service and VLANs, and you will see all the services that are configured on this particular device. Okay, so if this is a non-fabric network, you will see all the VLANs. If this is a fabric network, on top of it, you will also see layer 2 and, if configured, layer 3 services. Okay. And when you click on it, when you click on any of these services, let's click on the voice one. Basically, let me do it again. Selected services, and let's select any of these VLANs. So in this case, I can quickly see which other nodes, which other devices are also configured with this particular VLAN. Okay, so this is really easy, and you can select multiple of them. You can select the other VLAN, and it will be color coded. You can switch between them, so you can kind of compare whether these services are configured on the nodes that are supposed to have these services, right? So this is really important. And you can also select layer 2 services. Let's put the education Wi-Fi. Education Wi-Fi service, it's only configured on these two devices, which are basically part of the education site. So this is really important. So at the first glance, you have an understanding of which services are configured on which nodes. So this is one thing with the service layer. But what if I want to visualize an end-to-end service mapping rather than seeing all the devices which are configured for that particular service? So I have a voice network and I have a camera network. So the voice network is extended over layer 2 all the way from warehouse to the headquarters side. So what I need to do, I just basically select these two nodes, hit right click, and here I have the show endpoint service and VLAN. So the two switches are automatically selected. I move on to the layer 2 service and I select my voice service, which basically have the same ISIT ending with 1378 on one side, and here I select the exact same service. So my expectation is, if they are connected, I see this a single line from the warehouse edge switch to the headquarter core switch. So this verifies the end-to-end connectivity for this particular layer 2 service. So this was a simple example, but what if the layer 2 service on the warehouse side is different than the layer 2 service on the headquarters, and the two layer 2 services are basically crossing an L3 boundary. So in this case, this is the camera example. I will basically select the same two nodes, hit service, show endpoint to endpoint service VLAN. In this case, I will be selecting camera, but the enterprise warehouse camera ending with 1387 on one side, and the ENT HQ camera, so it's a different service, ending with 1377 on the other side. So when I hit show, in this case, I get this more complex view, but it's really correlates with the physical topology, and you can, if you go from left all the way to the right, we can basically follow the service mapping, right? So we started with the warehouse edge switch, which is basically this one. It is the layer 2 endpoint And this service has the core switches. Also, the core switches for this particular service are also highlighted here. So the WH core 1 and WH core 2. And on the other side, I have the other two core switches for the other service, and they are connected over an L3 VSN or an L3 VRF. And all the details, again, so we have the inspector panel to show more details, like the IP subnets. On one side, I'm using 10.13.87.0. On the other side, I have 77.0, and they are connected over a VRF named ENT camera. So this is how you can visualize your layer 2 services, layer 3 services with end-to-end service mapping. So with that said, I see some questions are coming in. Greg, you are replying to them. Thank you, because we have some time limitation. So I would like to move on to the AI piece, and then after that's done, we can address the unanswered questions. So again, so what we discussed with the AI is the conversational piece, right? So of course we can start with really simple examples such as how does Fabric connect, prevent loops in my network? So this is the example of talk to knowledge. It basically retrieves information from configuration guides in this case and summarizing that. It says basically prevents loops in the network by utilizing loop-free layer 2, layer 3 architecture. And I'm not going to read everything, but at the end, it provides you also the inline citations so that you can click on them and it will basically take you to the relevant configuration guide or a GTEC knowledge base article. So this is how you talk to your knowledge. The other use case might be, again, so you would like to upgrade the firmware of all your devices, all your switches. And first of all, obviously, you need to check the release notes. Instead of going through all the release notes, you can just say, or actually, let me, instead of prompting because of the time limitation, I can pull this up. Basically, you're asking what are the fixed issues on this particular switch engine version 33.3.1, and it lists all the basically fixed issues, again giving inline citation, and you can just click on it. It will basically take you to the switch engine 33.3.1 release notes. So these are some of the use cases where you can interact with AI experts while talking to knowledge. And talking to your network is basically, you can basically ask questions like, let's pick some of the examples from here. Devices, which switch has the highest CPU utilization, which switches have memory usage in a warning state. So it basically, I expected to provide me a table of all the switches with the memory utilization in the warning state. And then you can basically take this and put it in your AI canvas. Okay, so it basically gave me a table. You can expand it. You can see all the details about the host name, IP, location, and so on and so forth, and the memory utilization. And then if you want this to be added to your canvas, all you need to do is basically click add to canvas, and then it will be added like this. Okay, so this is yet another way to talk to your data in this case. And then we have some more advanced use cases. So one of them is the service agent, and the other one is a functionality which we recently brought, is the think it through functionality. So with think it through, you can think of this as deep reasoning. With the other LLM tools, I'm sure you are using these type of deep reasoning capabilities where you select it and then you ask some more complex query, and then it comes up with a detailed response. So in this case, if you want to combine talk to knowledge and talk to data capabilities together and build a complex reporting functionality, you can use think it through. So what are some of the use cases? Here, for example, let's say you received an email from Extreme saying that there's a particular vulnerability, a CVE, which might be impacting your network. You can ask this question to AI with the think it through functionality. Are there any devices in my network affected by this CVE? And also provide the details of what the CVE is. And then it basically pulls up the information from the public knowledge base, gives you the details of that particular CVE, and then it does a full inventory analysis of your network and provides you all the affected devices in your network. Obviously, you can do some more prompt engineering and ask it to add some more information about host name, device IP of all the affected devices. But the idea is it talks to the knowledge, retrieves some information, talks to your data, and makes a correlation and provides that as a report for you. So this is the CV vulnerability use case, and we can have a look at some other use cases. In this case, I have the switch capacity analysis. Let me bring this up and make it bigger so maybe it's better visible for you. So in this case, I plan to add new APs to a particular floor, right? So this is a really valid use case when you are doing capacity planning. So you may want to add some APs, you may want to add some switches, and you need to understand, for example, the switches on that particular floor, if they are adequate in terms of capacity. This capacity can be PoE budget, CPU utilization, memory utilization, the current active traffic load on those switches. So I wanted to basically analyze all this and give me which switch is the best candidate to start using for my new editions of APs. So what it does is basically, because I mentioned the AP5020, it also retrieves the AP5020's PoE requirements, and then it does all the switch capacity analysis for all the switches on that particular manufacturing floor. So it says, okay, so this is the total number of wired clients connected, this is the CPU utilization, memory PoE utilization, and this is the active traffic load for all the three switches. And then at the end, it comes up with the recommendation that the 08 switch can support the new 5020s without any immediate concerns in terms of performance and capacity. So this is basically the priority. So it starts with 08, and then at the end it says that the 10 has the highest number of wired clients and should be considered last resort when it comes to adding more APs into that switch. So this is a like a capacity analysis and capacity planning use case where you can basically utilize think it through functionality. Okay, so the last thing would be the service agent, and how you basically bring up the service agent is you just click on it. And if you are already running some Extreme Platform One instance, or whether it's a trial, all you need to do is you go to the beta and you enable the Extreme AI beta, and then the think it through and the service agent functionalities will be available in your instance. But just to keep in mind that these are beta available features, so there might be obviously some bugs with them. Okay, again, so all these service agent and think it through capabilities, they kind of run a couple of minutes when you input the prompt. So that's why I don't want to take time in this session, but I can quickly show you how it's basically doing the troubleshooting and collecting the evidence. In this particular use case, I have the wireless connectivity issue in a specific building, the hotel lobby floor, and in a specific network called hotel guest. Okay, and the client, I edit that clients are saying sometimes they cannot connect and sometimes they are dropping from the network. So it's basically collecting all the evidence, all the logs in the backend, and basically it says the evidence is collected, the it lists all the interference and channel usage for all the APs on that floor. And then at the end, it basically gives me the clients that are connected on that floor. And the deduction is the high channel utilization and interference on these APs might be contributing to the connectivity issues that I'm having. So at this point, it gives me the HITL prompt. So do you approve the technical report, or do you want to add some other details? If not, if everything is okay, all you need to do is approve. And then if you have a valid portal account, which in this demo instance I don't, but in that case, it will basically open the GTAC case for you and it will give you a case number. You can still follow it up from this AI expert window to check the status of your open cases. So these are some of the use cases that you can use AI expert, whether it's think it through capability for advanced reasoning, or service agent to open cases to GTAC, or simple queries where you basically check some data in your instance or check some knowledge in release notes or documentation. So I hope that was useful. We have 5 minutes to answer the remaining questions. Greg, do we have anything or anybody?
There
You can just
was one.
unmute.
Yeah, there was one question that was related to configuration of fabric capabilities. So Daniel is asking, is it possible to add a new ISID to all switches in the network? Now, I'm not sure, Daniel, if you meant all at once, or if you want to come off mute to expand on that.
I just meant if you had like say a factory or whatever, and you needed a new ISID for all the switches, is there a nice implementation method for that?
So we have the capability to basically automate the onboarding process. So while you are onboarding your switches into the network, so let's say if this is like a near deployment, you can do bulk onboarding, and while we are doing the bulk onboarding with an XLS file, that XLS file is now enhanced. If you are familiar with the old deployment with XIQ, we enhanced that XLS file with fabric parameters. So you can add autosense data ISID, autosense voice, camera, fabric attach into that Excel sheet. And when those switches are onboarded, they will be configured with those autosense capabilities. This is one way of configuring autosense parameters. But if you just want to configure a specific ISID across all your devices or a set of devices, that capability is coming next year, early next year, where we are completely redesigning the whole configuration framework. So when it comes to configuration, you may have noticed that it's still using the classic XIQ backend as an interim solution, but we will be completely redesigning the configuration where you will have the capability to do full fabric configuration as well. So we will have a concept called service profiles, where you will create your layer 2 services, your layer 3 services, and then you will be able to assign them to either all your edge boxes or all your network or specific devices. It will be highly flexible and granular in that case. So we are working on it, but today, if you want to configure your fabric, it is possible, but it is device level only. So if you want to go to a particular device, configure fabric, and you will have these screens with the global SPBM parameters. You can change these global SPBM parameters, as well as you can add autosense parameters like data ISID, voice, fabric attach, web, camera, and so on and so forth. You can also add a custom with an ISID, but again, so it is to the device level only. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, I was hoping it was further along, but next year I'll wait to hear that.
Yeah. So here, actually, you can also assign a custom with an ISID. But again, so it's today device only. Next year, it will be based on network.
We've got a minute or two left. Any other questions at all?
I guess if no one's asking, I'm wondering more along the lines of switching from XIQ over to Platform One. How much of the locations and everything will be exactly the same, or will you guys have some sort of way of, making changes so you're not maybe going with something that may have been degraded from the initial setup and now you want something a bit better named, or how will it happen?
So you mean the whole locations with if we are basically syncing?
Yeah,
Yes.
my
Yeah.
whole XIQ profile
Yeah.
moving to Platform One, if it's like an XLS that you
It is.
modify names and whatnot, or what?
It is very seamless when you have an XIQ account already up and running. If you have the Extreme Platform One licenses with the same instance, you open up the Extreme Platform One URL, and then everything, all the locations, all your network devices which are already running in XIQ, they should show up in EP1. So this whole framework is based on what we call common services. Common services, location is one of them. Access management, so the users will be carried over to Extreme Platform One. These are all common services. So if you create a location in one application in XIQ, it will be automatically created in EP1 and vice versa. So we are basically sharing this across different applications: SD-WAN, Universal ZTNA, XIQ, and yes, you will basically have everything in EP1 when you move to EP1. Yeah.
The other comment I'll just make as well, Emery. So thanks again for walking us through the session and demo. As we keep adding additional agent capability, we've also are working on another initiative that's referred to AI Exchange or Agent Exchange and some other functionality, which is really going to be a consolidation of being able to take advantage of other agents from other devices and stuff that'll be added into the market. And there's still some work being done on that. Obviously, there's a lot of security, considerations that need to be gone through as well at the same time. But as we start keep adding to this functionality, we can definitely set up more sessions. We can do individual, walkthroughs of the different functionality that drills down maybe a little bit deeper into your individual organization questions and specifics. Or we can do, even just another public session like this with updates once we have some of the additional functionality that keeps being added over the next year or so. So just wanted to sort of put that out there for everyone as well. With that, we're at time. As mentioned, we will send out a copy of the recording to everyone, and please share if you wish within your organizations. And thank you all for your time. We know that everyone's busy these days, so appreciate the time spending with us. And if there's any additional follow-up, reach out to Scott or myself at any time. And once again, thank you, Emery.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, everyone, for joining.